With no money to pay for rent and desperate to set up a home for his wife and 3 children, Boisile Makosi built his shack on unserviced municipal land, earmarked for a low-cost housing development. He and his family were evicted last year.
They just came and knocked the house down with the police, tear gases, rubber bullets, and turn our places down and throw away our clothes. They came, they threw out our furniture, they damaged my furniture and turned down my shack and took all my material of my shack away.
With nowhere to go and no employment prospects, Boisile and his neighbors rebuilt their homes on the same spot. Their plight has caused a rift between alliance partners, the EFF and the DA, in the Nelson Mandela Bay Council. The EFF supports an ANC motion to prevent the DA-led coalition from evicting the families again.
We're staying here, we don't have work, so other people around this house is helping us with food, with hot water. Maybe I want to do flask, I don't have paraffin or whatever, I need help from them. So if I can go somewhere else, I can't get that help.
The EFF holds a chair on the DA-led Municipal Mayoral Committee, but with their party leaders clashing in Parliament over the government's plan to expropriate land without compensation, the already precarious council alliance could be doomed.
Expropriation of land without compensation is incompatible with a growing, flourishing economy. You can have one or the other, but you can't have both.
I want to warn him, the leader of the opposition, that your stay in the metros is going to depend on your attitude on the expropriation of land without compensation.
The DA, which has already lost its outright majority in the Bay Council, will find it difficult to retain power without the EFF's support.
Power is effective when it is not used, but when the threat of it deters the opponent. So if the DA, on hearing the threats, comes to the party and says, let's come up with a workable solution, then the EFF has been successful. But if it gets to a stage where the EFF must now use that power, that's when actually it becomes weakened.
The ANC's stance is expected to have a significant impact on land claims currently being processed within the municipality and has already triggered a wave of new claims. Colin Abrams and his family were victims of the Group Areas Act. These 2 photos are all he has to remember the home he was forced to leave over 50 years ago.
I'm standing in front of a building here that used to be our house up till 1968, where we lived for 21 years. My family, mother, father, myself and my sister, Jean. And here you can see the house is not here anymore, but it's been taken over by some other business owner. And here you can actually see the space between our house and the next door family.
As he visits the spot in Salt Lake his family was forced to move to, Abrams feels strongly that now is the right time to lodge a land claim.
Obviously because of the noise that is being made in the newspapers, on television and so on, that I felt perhaps I should also get involved in. I became educated, we remain poor. And the whole thing about inheritance, we never inherited, we could not inherit anything from my parents. My poor parents who had saved all their money to buy the former wood and iron house that stood here so many years ago.
It's estimated 5,000 families were uprooted in Port Elizabeth under the Group Areas Act. Of the 1,200 land claims lodged in the Bay, 950 families have been given unoccupied municipal land, which many have sold to developers. Now a rush of new claims is expected as many like Abrams have been stirred into action since the governing party changed its policy on land. Sandy McCowan, Port Elizabeth.